Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into 4 of the most bizarre, head-scratching mysteries I've ever come across. I'm talking about cases that'll make you go, wait, what? Out loud. Trust me, these stories are wild. So let's get into it. Alright, so here's the thing about missing persons cases in Canada. Every single year, somewhere between 70,000 to 80,000 people go missing. That's insane, right? Now, most of them, we're talking about 85%, get found within a week or two. But after that, your chances drop dramatically, which is exactly why Lucy and Johnson's case is so incredibly strange. So Lucy was living in Surrey, British Columbia, and this woman was always kind of a wanderer, you know? Originally from Alaska, she bounced around a bit before settling in Surrey, where she met her husband Marvin. They got married back in 1954, had 2 kids, Lyndon and Daniel, and by all accounts, they seemed like a pretty normal, happy family. But here's where it gets weird. On May 14th, 1965, when Lucy was just 30 years old, Marvin reports her missing to the police. Now, investigators start digging and they immediately notice something sketchy. There's this huge gap between when she was last seen and when her husband actually reported her missing. We're talking years here, people. A neighbor said they saw her back in September of 1961. That's almost 4 years before Marvin even called the cops. Obviously, police are like, yeah, something's not right here. They suspect the husband immediately. I mean, it's always the husband in these cases, right? They even dug up the family's yard looking for, well, you know what they were looking for, but they found nothing. Zero. Zilch. Despite all the suspicion, Marvin was never charged. Time goes by and the case goes cold. Ice cold. For over 50 years, Lucy's family is searching for her with no luck whatsoever. Her daughter Linda, who's all grown up now, never gives up. She stays in touch with the RCMP, gets her mom featured on their Missing of the Month series, puts pleas in newspapers all over British Columbia and the Yukon territories. She focused on the Yukon because she knew her mom had lived in a place called Carcross up there. Then, and this is where it gets absolutely bonkers, on July 16, 2013, a woman named Rhonda who's living in Whitehorse sees Linda's plea. She calls the police and drops this bomb. Hey, I think I'm Lucy's daughter too. Investigators rush out there, and guess what? Rhonda's mother is Lucy and Johnson. She's been alive this whole time. Linda flies out to meet her mom after all these years, and apparently Lucy recognized her daughter the moment she got off the plane. Can you imagine that reunion? And get this, Linda discovers she has 4 half-siblings she never knew about. So obviously Linda asks the big question, Mom, why did you leave us? According to Lucy, her husband Marvin was abusive and was cheating on her with other women. She says she tried to take the kids with her when she left, but Marvin wouldn't let her. So she had to save herself and get out. Now, Linda says she's not 100% sure if she believes her mom's story, but she's just glad they're reunited and that her mom is alive and well. These days, they talk several times a week, and Linda's even thinking about moving to Whitehorse to be closer to her mom, who's now 88 years old. Absolutely wild, right? But let's move on to our next story, which is somehow even crazier. Okay, buckle up because this one is dark. We're talking about a case that was literally caught on camera and it's haunting. August 23, 2003. Erie, Pennsylvania. A man walks into a bank with something unusual strapped around his neck. He hands the teller a note demanding $250,000, and he wants it in the next 15 minutes. Now, obviously the teller can't get that kind of money together in 15 minutes, but she manages to grab $8,700 for him. The guy takes it and just walks out, gets in his car and drives off. Police get the call and they find him pretty quickly. He's just standing in a nearby parking lot, not far from his car at all. They cuff him, throw him on the pavement, and that's when he tells them something absolutely terrifying. "There's a bomb around my neck." He explains that someone put this device on him and it'll go off unless he completes this insane scavenger hunt to find codes and keys to unlock it and free himself. The police immediately clear the area and call the bomb squad. But before they can even arrive, the collar starts beeping. The man, his name was Brian Wells, and he was just a pizza delivery guy. He starts scooting backward on the ground, trying desperately to get away from what he knows is coming. And then, the device explodes. It blows a 5-inch hole right through his chest. This entire thing was caught on camera. Brian Wells takes one last gasp of air, and he's gone. Let me describe this device because it was sophisticated and terrifying. It was a triple-banded metal collar with 4 keyholes and a 3-digit combination lock. Inside was an iron box containing 2 6-inch pipe bombs filled with smokeless powder. It had 2 kitchen timers and 1 electronic countdown timer. And here's the kicker: there were wires running all over it, but they didn't connect to anything. They were fake, meant to mess with anyone trying to disable the bomb. The whole thing had a hinge that snapped shut like a handcuff. By Brian's car, police found a homemade gun disguised as a cane and these handwritten notes addressed to the bomb hostage, with detailed instructions about the bank robbery and what to do next to supposedly free himself. Brian had managed to get the first clue before the police caught him, so investigators decided to follow the trail themselves. They got the second clue, but when they went for the third one, the jar was empty. Someone had been watching them the whole time and snatched the clue before they could get there. About a month later, on September 20th, a 59-year-old handyman named Bill Rothstein calls 911. He tells them there's a dead body in his freezer. Now, Rothstein says he didn't kill the guy, James Roden was his name, but that his ex-girlfriend Marjorie Deal Armstrong did, and he agreed to help hide the body. Marjorie gets arrested, and she's already known to police. This woman had a string of dead lovers. I'm not even kidding. Initially, she wasn't connected to the Wells case at all, but then SHE brings it up, saying Roden's murder was connected to everything. She offers to tell police everything if they transfer her to a minimum security prison. Then she points the finger at Rothstein instead. But by this time, Rothstein had already died from lymphoma. Enter Kenneth Barnes, a crack dealer who was already in jail for something else. He cooperates, hoping to get his sentence reduced, and he confirms that Marjorie was the mastermind behind the whole plot. But here's the twist. He also says Brian Wells wasn't just an innocent pizza guy. According to Barnes, Wells was in on it. He thought the bomb was fake, but then the others double-crossed him and put a real bomb on his neck. Police announce all this at a press conference, and Brian's family is absolutely shocked. Eventually, Marjorie goes on trial and gets convicted, life in prison. Kenneth Barnes gets 45 years. Then, in 2018, a woman named Jessica Hoopsick comes forward. She was a former prostitute whose clients included both Barnes and Wells. She admits she was involved too. According to her, Barnes approached her to find a gopher, someone they could scare into robbing a bank, and she recommended Wells in exchange for money and drugs. But here's the thing, even today, nobody really knows the full truth. Some people still think Marjorie wasn't actually the mastermind. Retired FBI investigator Jim Fisher says the profile actually fits Bill Rothstein better than anyone else. This case remains one of the most disturbing and mysterious crimes ever captured on film. So there you have it, strangest mysteries that continue to baffle people to this day. From a woman who disappeared for 50 years only to be found alive, to a pizza delivery man with a bomb around his neck, to a series of unexplained disappearances in Vermont, to a woman who claimed to remember her past life in ancient Egypt. What do you think about these cases? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay curious, stay safe, and keep questioning everything. Peace out.